This is a review of the UNU X Triport car charger in black and gold color. Inside the box, you'll find a brief instruction user manual and this beautiful car charger. This one happens to be finished in gold anodized aluminum and black. This top piece is very strong and robust, and it's a nice design. The unique thing about this is that there's 3 ports. At the top here you have an LED that's on when it's receiving power. The top port is rated for iPad tablets, and it outputs 2.1 amps at 5 volts. The middle port here is rated at 2 amps, and it's designed for use with Samsung and Android devices. And the bottom port is 1 amp at 5 volts DC, and it's designed for use in your smartphones. The small size of this because it fits into the car charging socket in your vehicle, and it doesn't stick out 1 or 2 or 3 inches like a lot of these very large ones do, which people can bang their knees on. This one here is small, fits in there, and it can do a lot of work. These 3 ports are very powerful, as I mentioned, and as a result of that, they can charge 3 devices simultaneously. That means this little device can output 25.5 watts or 5.1 amps simultaneously and charge 3 devices at the same time. Like us, and you go on a trip, my wife and I by ourselves sometimes have 2 iPhones and also a tablet with us, and maybe even a Kindle Fire. In addition to that, if you got your children in the back seat and maybe grandma with them, everybody's phone needs to be charged, their tablets, their Kindles, and if you're going on a trip, you want to keep them all entertained and keep them happy. Something like this in your car, one in the front seat, one in the back seat, for example, you could literally charge 6 devices at the same time. The things I like to point out is, I mentioned before, look how short this is and how little of it's sticking out. It's about 1 inch sticking out of the charger port. That's excellent. I've seen some of these devices stick out this far, and if you're in the back seat in a console, for example, when people get in the car they bang their knees on them and can break them or unplug them. This is ideal because it's the right size, that it doesn't protrude a whole lot, and a lot of things aren't going to be banging up against it and knocking the cables around or bending the device inside the plug. I'll show you what a workhorse this is. I've got 3 different things plugged into it. I've got a Kindle Fire plugged into the Android port in the middle, and it's charging. It's at 100% now, but the lightning bolt is on and the green light is on. If I come over here to the middle, on the bottom port, I have a iPhone 5S plugged in. You can see the green LED and it's charging, and it's at 99% now. And then on the top port, I have an iPad 2 plugged in, and it's charging at 86%, and you can see the green battery and the lightning bolt. So it's charging very strongly on all 3 devices. On the iPad 2, it's now charging at 0.83 amps. That's a solid charging current, but it's not as high as you would expect because this is pretty high at 0.88. So as a result of that, it's reducing the current it draws at once to prevent overheating. I can flip this, and you can see it's charging 3 devices, and even though it's charging all 3 devices, the current output is still 5.06 volts, which is nice and a solid result. I want to show you that it's charging at 0.83 amps on the top port. If I unplug the Android device here, and then I plug back in, I plug the Apple iPad 2 back in the middle, you can see the current dropped to 0.48 amps. You might ask why that is, even though that port's rated at 2 amps. Samsung does a funny thing where they actually short 2 wires together and tell the device it's plugged into an AC wall charger and to charge at a higher current. That port will still work on Apple devices like the iPad, but the current's reduced because there are no terminals that are shorted, so it thinks the cable that's plugged in is a data cable, and so it's cut the current in half. As you can see in my testing in the car, I actually charged multiple devices and measured the voltage and current, and it worked fine. This is an excellent device. It comes with a 12-month warranty. I rated it at 5 stars. This review is done by jjceo. I'd like to tell you I received a sample for test and evaluation, and I promise to give a fair and honest review.